Hi all, and welcome to another discussion on R programming. And in this, the topic that we are going to cover today is the topic that we are going to cover today are data frames. Okay, so we will try to understand what are data frames and how they are used and why they are used. Okay, so let's understand what are data frames. Data frame is basically a construct in any programming language which are used to handle a structure which is something construct of rows and columns. Okay, for an example, you are very familiar with Excel. So Excel is a construct which contains different columns and different rows. So these are columns, and also you will be having multiple rows to handle. So whenever you have this kind of construct, we used to access these things, or we used to access this structure with the help of data frame. Now, to understand it further, let's understand an Excel table. So this is the Excel table which is used for a demo purpose. Now for this, in this structure, we have three columns: name, age, and company. So these are the columns which we are going to use for today's demo. And in these columns, we have names as ABC, 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 EFG, and DGF. These are the three random names I have given for the demo purpose. And then at the same time, we have ages. Okay, and these are the company names. Now, we are going to define a data frame for this, and we are going to access different rows and columns in that data frame. All right, so we will be first fetching this Excel table in R, and then after fetching it, we will be doing different dicing and slicing of the data. So in the dicing and slicing of the data, what we are going to do is something where we will be selecting some specific rows or some specific columns based on the given criteria, or based on the criteria that we are going to put in R programming. Okay, so this is our R Studio, and in this R Studio, now what we are going to do, we are going to fetch the data frame. Now, to fetch the data frame, first we have to check which working directory we are into. Okay, and you know that to check the working directory you are working into, how you can check it, you have a pretty good function in R programming, that is get working directory, get WD. So get WD is going to show you which working directory you are currently into, and we are into this particular working directory. And the data and the Excel structure that we are going to that we have discussed is something which is in some different directory, and the directory name is this is the directory name where we have our demo data frame stored. Okay, so first what we have to do, we have to set the working directory as the working directory where we have kept our Excel table. Okay, so this is the working directory, I am setting it. All right, so yeah, this is the common error that you guys might be encounter while working with R programming. And you have to remember that in R programming, this these slashes are something which are reserved characters, so they are not supported. And to overcome this problem, if if you are going to mention the path using the using this, then this will not work. Okay, this will not work. So what you have to do as a workaround, either you have to put two slashes. Okay, or you can use reverse slash as well. Okay, I am using two slashes here like this. And now if you see, I have got my working directory set up as the same directory where I have kept the Excel table. Okay, now if you want to access that Excel table, so what we can do, or how we can do, so this Excel table currently is in format of Excel. First we will try to understand the use of data frame using CSV tables. So let me convert it back to the CSV format. So I'm saving it as .csv, and how to save it by .csv is something here. You just need to change the name as demo1, and this is going to be CSV table. Okay, so we are going to use a function which is called as read dot CSV, read.csv, and then we have to mention the name. We have to mention the name of the exact Excel table which we are using. So the Excel table which we are going to use for this demo purpose is demo1. So just copying this, pasting here. Okay, seems not being copied, so just copying it. Okay, so copying it and pasting here dot csv. When you are going to do this, you can see what happened. Whatever be the data present in that Excel sheet, the same data has been picked up and has been shown here. Okay, so that means now you are able to access that data. All right, but by read.csv function you are able to access this data, but after accessing this data, the data is just shown in the console or in the output. Now you have to store it, and to store any kind of data which contains rows and column both, and uh, and we know that data frame is a construct which is used to solve that kind of problem where you have a data which contain row and column. So here we have a structure which contains both rows and columns, so we will be utilizing data frame. So let's do this. That means test df. So in the test df, what we are going to do, so we are just reading the CSV table and storing the data in test df. Okay, so now here you can see we have got a variable created which is called as test df, which contains 11 rows and 3 columns. Okay, so let's see what is the class of test df. So test underscore df, and if you see the class of test underscore df, so it is saying it is a data frame. So that means we have created a data frame whose name is test df, and in test df we have copied all the data which is present in df demo1.csv. all right, so you have got test df. Let's check whether it has our data which is present in excel, which was present in excel, and yes, the data which was present in excel is now copied to test df. all right, so we have created our first data frame. Okay, so we have created our first data frame. Now after creating the first data frame, this is something we have created, or we have created the data frame. Now let's understand the structure of data frame, that how data frame looks like and how it works. Okay, so to understand the data frame, let's say we have our data frame which is called as test underscore df. Now the structure of data frame is like this, like you have name of data frame, let's say name of data frame. Then data frame works in braces, so name of data frame. Then as you know that in a typical data frame we have two entities, one is column and another one is rows. Okay, so any data frame is consist of two things, columns and rows. Now in data frame we represent these two entities and separate these two entities with the help of a comma, and whatever we are going to mention before comma, they are going to represent rows, and whatever we are going to mention after comma, they will represent column. So overall, if you want to say df, or let's say test df, that is the name of our data frame, then big braces, and here you will be mentioning all the rows or number of rows which you want to access. Then you are going to put a comma, and then you are going to mention all the columns. Okay, so this is how you can access data frame, right? So let's try to do it in RStudio. So let's say test df, and let's say you just want to access third row of the data frame, third row of the data frame. If you just want to access third row of data frame, so we know by structure in the data frame we separate rows and column with the help of a comma. So we just want to access third row with all columns in it. So we want to just access third row with all columns in it. Okay, so if you just want to access third row, we know that before comma it represents rows, and after comma it represents column. We just want to access third row, so let's mention the index number, that is 3, which is indicating third row. And after comma if you do not mention anything, after comma if you do not mention anything, that means you are mentioning or you are keeping it as all. Okay, so if you keep it blank, that means it is all. Okay, so let's keep it blank because we need all columns but third row. So row number is 3 but column are all. So we have mentioned the construct. Now let's run it and see if it is actually accessing third row. Yes, it brought us really third row and all the columns in it. Okay, so this is how you can actually pull a specific row from the data frame. All right, so now our next task is pull a specific column from the data frame. Okay, so how to pull a specific column? Straightforward and very simple. Just mention the name of data frame, then you just want to pull a specific column. Let's say first column and all rows. Okay, so this is something you want to do, first column and all rows. Okay, so let's put a comma. Before comma it represents rows. What do you want to do? You want to fetch all rows. All means blank, so let's keep it blank, do not put any filter. Okay, now first column you want to fetch, so mention first column. Let's run it and you can see ABC, 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 ABC and EFG, EFG and so on. That means our first column is name. And what are the values in name? So these are the name values which are being shown by the data frame. Okay, so it have fetched all the names which are present in the data frame. All right, so this is how you can pull a specific column only, or you can pull a specific row only by this particular function. All right, now let's divide your data frame or break your data frame both horizontally and vertically. That means pull specific row and specific column. Pull specific row and specific column both. Okay, so straightforward, just mention the name of data frame, and then from that let's say we want to access third row, so just mentioning the 3 in the row section, that is before comma, and column, let's say we want to access second column, so 2 we are or let's say mention 1 which represents name. So third row and first column. So third row and first column means you just want to access third row and first column from the third row. So first column from the third row. So this is your third row and first column. So first column from third row. Let's see what is the result, and the result is ABC. Okay, so this represents first column, which is name from third. All right, so this is how you can pull the specific data from the data frame. Okay, now here you are dealing one row at a time or one column at a time. Now let's deal with range. That means multiple number of rows and multiple number of columns. So how to deal with ranges? So for that you have to just mention data frame, and then let's say we want to access column number row number 3 to row number 7. We want to fetch row number 3 to row number 7. So just mention 3 and then column to 7. So this column mentions the continuity or complete range, which says that you want to access row number 3rd to row number 7th. Okay, and you want to access all the columns from it, so that's fine. So here we just want to fetch row number 3 to 7 and all columns in it. When you run it, you can see row number 3 to 7 has been fetched and all the columns, that means name, age and company, has been fetched. So you have fetched row number 3 to row number 7 only, and all the columns from it. Okay, similarly you can mention the range of columns. Okay, how to do it? Test underscore df, and all the rows you want to access, but column number 1 to 3 or 1 to 2. Okay, so here you see name and age has been fetched, but all the rows. Okay, so here we are mentioning we are fetching all rows, but uh, columns 1 to 2. Okay, so this is how you can actually chop off the data frame and work with the data frame by using some specific subset. Okay, I hope you like this video, and if you like the video, please share and subscribe. Thank you.